Hi everybody, welcome back. My name's Nicholas. Today we're going to try out another product from Vego Garden. They were so kind to send me this and I think it's going to be really helpful. So I've been teasing you a little bit saying that I wanted to do some vegetable growing kind of up at my back patio or on my back patio, and that's the goal today. So they sent me their EZCube planter, which is going to be so helpful. And I'm really excited to, well, let's see if it fits the space first. So let me show you the area I'm hopefully going to put it in, and then I'm going to get to building it, putting it together. It should be really easy. And then we will go and grab the plants that are going to go in them. I'm very excited to get this started. This is the dining area of this back patio, and then there's the back door. My hope is that it will go in this area. That's my hope. I don't think it'll neck it down too much, but it's the most likely area that it could go. It's possible that it could potentially go right here, but I feel like that would for sure neck it down. I would say if this hose reel wasn't here, it could be bumped up right here, but it's there and I'm not moving that because it's very helpful. So let me just grab it. We'll start unboxing it, put it together, and keep it moving. That's it, you guys. Let me move it into place. Hopefully it fits where I want it to. And then I'll explain to you what everything is and the dimensions of everything and just how easy it was. Like easy. It was actually really pleasant putting it together, and it only took me 15 minutes, but that's me reading the directions very thoroughly because that's just how I am. instead of putting it over here like I said I was going to, I decided to put it on the brick patio, and I like it so much better in this spot. This is the EZCube from Vego Garden, and it does not come with these taller legs. These are an addition, but the dimensions of this is 21 inches deep, so from here to here, and 48 inches long. And then the legs are 12 inches tall, so it ends up being, I believe, 33 inches. If I'm wrong, I'll put it on the screen. And I just like that it's a little bit taller and easier to harvest whatever you're putting in. And then one of the coolest things about it is it's self-watering. So you fill this up with water, and this is your gauge of how full it actually is. So there it would be at max, and then once it's down, you know that you need to put water in it. And on either side, so this is comprised of two different boxes that are like smushed together, but there's a water level regulator. So this determines how much water stays in this cube at all times. So if you had a plant that wants to have all the water all the time, you would want to leave it up here, because the water would have to travel all the way up here to spill over. And then the more you turn it down one way or the other, because it's the same on either side, it would hold on to water less time. So if you had it down like this, that means the water would always constantly flow out and it wouldn't hold any. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, please let me know. And then what happens is, underneath here, there's like a little chamber that's filled with water. And then I'm gonna fill my soil in, and the soil is gonna fall down into these holes. And it's gonna wick up the moisture from underneath to feed the plants that are in this bed. And like I said, this is where you fill up the water, but there is another piece over here that looks the same, but it's actually like an airflow ventilation. So the air flows in and out so that nothing stays stale and stagnant. Now I just get to fill it up with soil. I'm curious to see how many bags it's gonna take. I'll let you know, obviously. And then we get to go grab the plants, and I'll tell you all about those. Before I fill it up, I did wanna let you see the difference between the legs that come with it and the legs that you can buy extra. So it just depends on how, tall you want your planter to be. There we have it. It is full. I ended up using 5 bags, and they are 1.5 cubic feet bags. Let's go get some plants. We'll go over the names when we plant all of these, but I have a different grouping of strawberries. There's 2 different types of peppers, and a tomato plant, and I grabbed a little planter, and then hopefully this trellis will fit, because I think that that would be really cute for the tomato. The strawberries that I have in these large containers actually came from the old raised beds that I had back by the greenhouse. They were full of strawberries. There were two different kinds in those beds. One was the Seascape, which is the everbearing, and then I had a June bearing type that I don't remember what it was called. So I don't know what I grabbed out of those beds, but I'll be happy with any of them. And then I did grab two more Seascape everbearing strawberries, and I grabbed two of the All-Star June bearing varieties. That way I can have a big flush of strawberries in June around about, and then I can have other ones all year around from the everbearing. So I'm just gonna probably, I don't know, I do want to try to fit all the strawberries and the peppers in these beds, which I think will fit. For the peppers, I do have these Bell Boys. There are 3 of them, and 3 of these California Wonder Selects. And then I am going to put the tomato in this pot, and this is an Early Girl Plus, and this is stressed in its container. What I'll probably do is take this little branch off and this one over here, and I'm going to bury it really deep, somewhere around about there. I know that seems like a lot, but it's just because it's so tall and spindly. Because what happens is, if you plant your tomato plant in soil this deep, it will grow roots all along the stem where you plant it. So it'll do just fine. So I'm going to try to fit all of these in here. That's my goal, and I think it'll work. There is also some creeping Jenny in here because I had it in my old beds, so it'll just be in here. You guys, I really like this. Like, I love, well, visually, I think it's really cool looking. And I like having the planters next to it, like, and just having like this big vegetable production area. I mean, I wouldn't say big, but big for me. And I just think it's really pretty. There's a couple more things I wanted to explain because I don't know if I explained it thoroughly. The water reservoir in the bottom of this planter holds 10 gallons of water. And the tube on the side, if you have a plant that wants a lot of water or to hold on to water longer, you would leave the tube pointing straight up because the overflow, it wouldn't overflow as quickly. And then if you have a plant that wants quick, easy, like runoff, like they don't want to sit in water or they don't want to be very wet at all, you would turn that little tube down so that it would drain out faster. So that's one of the things I wanted to say. The other thing I wanted to say is when you put it together, it's two different pieces, like two different boxes, but underneath there's a tube that connects both. So if you fill up one side, it fills up the other side as well. So it all ends up being one total box. Another thing I wanted to say is the one that I have is the double, which is like two of them put together. So 21 by 48, I believe was the dimensions. But they also have single ones. And then they also have like all kinds of different self-watering containers. I actually really like a lot of what they have. Like I have their metal raised beds, their trellis that goes in between. Like I really like this company, and I think that they make great products, and I think you guys should at least check them out. If you're interested in this or any of their products, head over to the link in my description. It'll take you to their website, and then if you are interested, there is a discount code as well. So just use it and get you something. And then as you can see, it is to the max, so that means there's 10 gallons of water in the reservoir right now. And then as the water goes down, this will go down and it will let you know when it's time to refill. And then what I ended up doing was grabbing these two planters because I felt like it was going to be crammed if I put the peppers and the strawberries in there. So I just grabbed these two. I put 3 peppers in each. That might be excessive, but we'll deal with it when the time comes. And then I ended up having, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are about 10 strawberry plants. I say about because some of the ones that I grabbed from the raised beds back there, they had like a bunch of different ones in a clump. But they're already producing strawberries and they will only do better from now on. And then here is the tomato planter with the trellis. That is the same as the one I did out by my greenhouse in the raised beds. It doesn't quite fit because I had to squeeze it so it bows a little bit, but I'm going to use it because I think it's cute, and that's that. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, go check out their website, Vego Garden, and I will see you guys very soon. Keep learning and keep growing.